Serving your community is a good thing. Serving your country is a great thing. But serving them both in multiple ways is reserved for a very special few. Our next inductee is one of those special few. He was born on March 3rd, 1950 in Miami, Florida. He grew up playing baseball, but got his first taste of boxing when his mother took him to a boxing gym when he was 10. He fought several times as an amateur. Right out of high school, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps and proudly served his country in Vietnam from 1967 to 1968. After the Marines, he returned to Florida to attend Miami-Dade Junior College and later joined the City of Miami Police Force. After the infamous race riots in 1980, he was recruited to implement a boxing training program as part of the Police Athletic League in Overtown. The hope was to get a lot of the kids off the streets and do something positive. The program was a big success under his leadership. He trained a number of kids who actually were good enough to go on and win championships. He even borrowed money to take some of the kids on the road for championship tournaments. He began with 50 fighters, and in 5 years saw 2,500 fighters come through the door. Some were serious, some had Olympic aspirations. He would produce 100 national champions at every level in the amateurs. In 1995, he retired from the Miami Police Force and devoted his own dream of becoming a U.S. Olympic boxing coach. Before the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, he had a chance to work with great amateur fighters like Oscar de la Hoya, Raul Marquez, and Eric Griffin. For the next Olympics, Atlanta, 1996, he was elected to be full-time part of the boxing coaching staff. The team garnered 1 gold medal with David Reed and 5 bronze medals. He also made his mark in the professional ranks, working with 6 world champions, including Jermaine Taylor. He also worked with heavyweight title challenger and Florida Boxing Hall of Famer Philip Jackson. Among the honors he earned are the Purple Heart in Vietnam. For his service in the Miami Police Department, both the Bronze Star and the Medal of Honor. That's the highest decoration for a police officer for helping to save lives during the Miami riots. He fulfilled his commitment of service as a Marine and as a police officer. And he also fulfilled his commitment to the youth of his community, making a positive difference, which is what brings him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, class of 2018, boxing coach Patrick Burns.
Wow, what an honor to be here. Over my years on this earth and a lot of the things that I've been involved in, I've received some accolades here and there, but this is obviously the highest award for me. Not just for me, but for my family and for all the kids that I was able to help in some small way. It's definitely a great honor. I'd like to thank Kathy and Butch. Kathy's haven't seen too many women work as hard as you, or for that matter, too many men. You were outstanding. Great job, Butch. I would like to thank the board. Also, the referees and the judges. Most of these guys start out as volunteers, not knowing a whole heck of a lot about the sport. Some of them were former boxers. Some of them just wanted to get in there and help the kids and develop their skills and came on to become great referees and great judges, and without them, we wouldn't be here today. And I do remember when Brian Gary, I believe it was his first match professionally, I had him. Boy, I had fun with him before the match even started. I think I got on him about everything you could possibly get on. And when I turned and walked away, when he turned and walked away, my brother goes, "What the heck did you do that for?" I go, "I'm just having fun." The doctors, I can tell you, what the doctors do for this sport, it gets tougher and tougher every year to find doctors with the liabilities and all the things that come with it. I just think that you look at some of the guys that have actually saved shows because one doc got an emergency, couldn't show up, and what they do is just tremendous. Also, the promoters. Without the promoters, you know, they catch a lot of grief sometimes, but boy, what they do behind the scenes of going way out of their way to work with the trainers and the managers, they do everything they possibly can to get these kids to train hard, these fighters, and get them on cards. It's really remarkable, because without them, we would be really up the creek. Also, the boxers themselves, with a lot of these kids come in, and some of them have talent, some of them just have average talent, but those kids that stay in the program, and they just keep pounding away and keep working and trying to fulfill their dream. And the trainers that sometimes recognize that the kid doesn't quite have what it takes to be a world champion, yet stand behind the kid, do everything they possibly can to help this kid achieve his goals. It's a very special feeling that you have. I'd like to thank my family. As everyone seems to allude to, they always go to their wives. My wife of 30 years, when I first met her, she always heard me talking about my kids, my kids, my kids, my kids. So on our first date, she insisted that her sister and my now brother-in-law had to come along. And I said, "Okay, but you have to come to my house and pick me up." And when she came to my house and opened the door, there were 15 kids sleeping and laying on the floor and a chain around the refrigerator, because we had to go to a tournament in the morning and make wait so they couldn't get food. And so when she went out with me for the second time, I said, "Yeah, this is definitely a keeper." And I married her, and here we are 30 years later. My brother, Joey, who is here with me, has been through a lot with me, was an intricate part in all our training. He was a wrestler in college and was just physically a beast, and was able to do a lot of things with the fighters, including the running that I couldn't. And now my son, a young firefighter here in Miami, he was also with us and trained hard since the time he was 15 years old with working with my fighters. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about, two little things. One, I know Kathy had mentioned to me about that she tries to make this feel like a family, everyone that is here. And I can tell you, when I see all you people that know each other, and I don't know a lot of you, and then the ones I know, the camaraderie that I see here, and the way everybody comes together and haven't seen each other for a year, in some cases years, and you hug each other, and all the stories that we hear, and we're getting together with the trainers and the stories, it's just, you can see how she's made it a family. Particularly Dade County, with the coaches that have worked so hard. When we started in the mid-'80s, we were really short of boxers, and we built up our association to over 700 athletes, judges, and referees and doctors that were certified, and had some great competitions with Metro Dade, Dwayne Simpson and his guys, and Johnny Torres, and Broward County, when the late Pete Balkunas, Tommy Trino, who is not here with us, but put on an awful lot of shows and kept it going. And then the last thing I will say, I was very, very surprised by the number of veterans here. A lot of veterans, particularly the Marines. My hat's off to you guys. But it's just been amazing, and I look forward to doing whatever I can in the future to helping out the board. I want to thank you very much, everybody here, and I certainly appreciate being taken into your family. Thank you.
Happy anniversary, 10 years, the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. Thank all of you, or we wouldn't be here.